Whether you are using Trello or you are wanting to use Trello, we are going to talk about it today. What are the primary features of Trello? Why are so many people using it? And how is Trello adapting to fit the expectation that AI is going to be working with you on projects? So let's talk about the basic functionality of Trello. So it uses something that's called Kanban or Kanban, I don't know how you say it, boards, where you have a to-do list, you have a in progress, and you have a completed list. It's very simple. There's kind of three sections. They broke up into boards. So you have, your board here and all the to-dos that are associated. Once you've done them, you can move them to the middle section. And then once you're done with the middle section, you move them to the end. So that is the basic functionality of Trello. But the reason that so many people use Trello is because it's very simple and it's very visual. So a lot of people nowadays, they don't necessarily want to have all the bells and whistles that come with a lot of the bigger project management tools, but they want to have something simple that's easy to adapt, that you can kind of just jump in, start running projects, and that isn't going to break the bank in a lot of cases. I'll talk about pricing more toward the end, but for freelancers or people that are just getting started, you can do 10 boards for free, which I'll jump into what that actually looks like in a minute. But you're able to do a lot of work or get a lot of stuff organized without having to pay anything up front. And then as you start paying, you can scale. In addition to the basic functionality, Trello has something that they call power-ups, which function as kind of add-ons or different. If you think of like Microsoft Teams as an example, they have apps. This is kind of the app world for Trello. So it makes it so that you are able to scale, you're able to get a lot more information and be a little bit more flexible with the tool. Trello also has a modular setup with power-ups that you can use. So you are able to add or change your layouts, your settings, your dashboards as you show up. You can say, okay, I want this to look like this. The other thing that's built into Trello that is pretty new is something that they're calling the Butler. And Butler is Trello's automation tool that's built in directly to it. So you can add rules, you can make automations that are built in as part of the system. So you can say something, like if I move a project to the done category, then automatically archive it. You can create little rules like that to kind of help workflows and help streamline things. Or as an example, if something has been overdue for a long period, you could say, send me a reminder or move it to the top of my to-do list, things like that, just to make it a little bit more cohesive and kind of feel like you're interacting with the platform in more of a human way rather than you having to set everything up by yourself. And the biggest draw for me in terms of Trello, or why I would recommend it, is the simplicity. Again, there are so many project management tools on the market. I've covered a lot of them on this channel. Trello has lasted, and it has lasted 14 years, and I have no doubt it will last 14 more, because people love the simplicity, because it's so easy to use, because it integrates with everything. But the problem that you run into with a lot of this automation or the kind of the AI wave that we're experiencing is companies, specifically project management companies, are finding new ways that Trello maybe not has caught on yet, but a lot of them are finding new ways to use AI or automation or large language models to figure out how to use these tools in a unique way. So let's talk about some of the drawbacks from Trello, why it might not be the best tool for you because of some of the things that they're falling behind on. Okay, so in my mind, Trello has three specific things that fall short when it comes to their platform, which might be a consideration if you're thinking about using it or if you're thinking about moving to a different platform. First, there's no project job overview. There's no project board overview. So in some cases or in some platforms, you're able to get a high-level overview of all the projects and then be able to click through them. The problem with Trello, or one of the problems with Trello, is in order to go from project to project, you have to go from one board and exit and go into another. There's no way to kind of see on one dashboard, one cohesive way to look at things. It has to be in between projects. You have to go from one project to another, which can take a lot of time. It's more effort to kind of project manage if you have multiple things going on, because there's no high-level overview that you can see. The second issue that I'm finding with Trello is that there is no dependency kind of actions. So if there's something where you're doing something and you say, okay, once I finish this, then do this, there's no sense of dependency in that way. Okay, so for example, let's say that you have one project that you do that has maybe 10 tasks in it. And the first task is, let's say you're running a campaign, and the first one is a strategy session, and then a creative session, and then a production session. But all of those tasks are dependent. So if we say that the strategy session should take 2 days, but it takes 10, the system doesn't automatically, if you adjust the first task, it doesn't auto adjust the rest of them. So if you have one task, it doesn't allow you to extend the production time unless you have to do it manually, but there's no sense of dependency where it's able to do that automatically. And some tools like Motion, as an example, that's actually built in as a feature and functionality. Now, I don't know if Trello is planning on changing that, but that is something that has been an issue for 14 years because of the simplicity, the way that they have it set up. It is so siloed that it's focused on smaller independent projects that aren't meant to move dependencies based on activities or things that have happened in the past. And the third issue that I have with Trello is that it has weak reporting. On the free plan, you're not really able to get a team report or a productivity report. If you want leveled access into how efficient are your team members, what's the project status, if you want kind of a high level overview on a data standpoint, you're gonna have to either pay or you're gonna have to do a third party power up, which can lead to power up fatigue because you started this Trello project because it was simple, but then you have to build in all these add-ons. And it does weigh down a lot of the projects, especially if you're trying to make data-driven decisions that are not necessarily something that you can see at a high level, but you need the data and the actual reporting to make things happen. So you probably can guess by now what my actual opinion of Trello is. I love it, I love it, I love it, but I don't think that it's helpful for large teams that want to scale. It's usually best, in my opinion, if you want to use Trello to get started, to get yourself organized. If it's something where you are a small team, and I will link to Trello below. I don't know if I said that before, but I will link to them below. They have a free plan, which I recommend if you're interested in Trello, try the free plan, try it out. It's very simple, get yourself organized. The pricing starts going up from there. So I think it's like $5 a month, $10 a month per user per month. So if you're looking at getting your team onboarded with a tool, maybe try with the free plan, see how it goes. If you are working on a large enterprise, I would try maybe looking at a different tool, maybe like a Monday.com or an Asana or Motion or ClickUp. But if you have used Trello, let me know your experience in the comments below. And if this video was helpful, please give it a like. And like I promised, if you are interested in looking at a video about the comparison between Trello, Asana, and ClickUp, check out this video here. And with that, I will see you on the next one.